when in reality, two people looking at exactly the same world could be taking in different information at the same time.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. Let's do this.
If you met yourself and they walked in right now and they sat down right in front of you,
Okay.
what would you think of them and why?
Oh my. Oh.
The fuck? Yikes.
And then this one, oh, it's one of these.
One of those, like, is it a duck or a rabbit?
It's either a very ugly man with a mullet or a lady looking into darkness with her eyes closed.
I saw the man first.
Oh, it's like social aspects of women. Ugh.
Oh. I think it's trying to be something else as well, but I can't make it out. There's some... Oh! Oh! The woman! There's a woman! My God! Like that it can be whatever you want it to see. Like whatever you want to see, it can be that thing.
I've got nothing to say about that. Oh, dear me, what is this?
I quite like looking at this one, just because it's quite nice to look at.
Just makes me think of that motion.
Witchetty grubs. Or skin.
We've got some Christmas decorations at home that look like...
You know the Hoover on Teletubbies?
A horse. I don't really have anything to say about the horse, to be honest.
Okay, it's either a frog or a horse. If you look at it that way, it's a horse. If you look at it that way, it's a frog. I think it looks nicer as a horse.
Okay, I'm just saying a horse. I don't know if there's anything meant to be more than that.
It's a horse's head underwater.
This is, I'm guessing it's a toad, not a frog. I don't like when they, like, I know it's called ribbit, but like, when they like hop.
It's a frog. Not as good as I can draw. I'm a master at drawing frogs. I wouldn't hang it in my house, but there we go. Well, this one you probably couldn't hang in the house because there's photos of children on it.
I love paintings like this.
I'm guessing it's like street art. It's really cool.
It works from one place. If you stand in that one place, it looks fantastic, but as soon as you like stand where that kid is stood, it just looks not as effective and very naff.
It's impressively done. That's all I've got to say. I don't know. I don't really like all that chalk and charcoal.
That's fun. I'd freak out if I stepped into that. I'd be like, whoa, where am I going? But then psych, you know? You know, like on Blackpool Tower when you walk over the glass, you think, oh, am I going to fall through?
Oh, this one is... Are you so stippling in this one?
I see a face.
It also looks like a woman walking.
This one again is like, you've got the scenery, but inside you've got the face. That's like, to me, that's the being higher than us.
But it looks much more like a lady than a face.
And she looks unhappy, even though I can't see her face.
It looks like it's in, I want to say it's in Prague. It looks like it's got Praguean, I don't know what the word is. Bit old-fashioned buildings. I don't feel like this is in London.
This is a blindfold, not a scarf. If you're my blindfold.
Okay, ready?
The gravity's quite low. I'm quite floating at the moment. there's some mariachi music playing, and everything's really good because there's people around me, and the people around me are supporting me, and it feels good. But my feet touch the ground, but that's good. That's good that my feet are touching the ground because I don't want to float for too long.
I'm on a boat and I'm on the balcony of this boat, and it's a big cruise boat, big cruise liner. I'm 20, but I feel like I've been this age for a long time. I've looked like this and I've acted, or not acted, but been who I am right in this, like right now, and in like the last 4 years. I've been very the same. So I can't imagine being 30, 40. I feel like I'm just going to be young forever.
It's beginning to get to the time where exams are coming closer and deadlines are coming closer. So just in my head I've got images of like metal, old-fashioned filing cabinets. I'm like, well, I've got to do this, got to do this, got to do this.
You know what's really odd? Oh, hearing the door go. That's odd.
I think Kiva's left the room. I don't know if Kiva's still here. That's really strange.
Okay. Well, now I don't know like how many people are watching me. That makes me feel very uncomfortable.
I'm in the forest now because I'm absolutely scared, and I'm running through this forest because there's someone after me and I can't see where I'm going, and there's leaves and trees and twigs, branches, that's what I'm trying to look for, branches.
And now it's kind of also this thing where, am I alone?
I feel like we judge a lot by our sides and we take it for granted. We should use our ears mainly the most and listen to other people.
Your eyes can tell a totally different story to what you genuinely feel. You can pretend that you're fine when really you're not, and now I feel quite like open and exposed.
I'm going to give you something.
Okay.
You can do whatever you want with it.
Okay.
Try your best to identify it.
Okay.
You can describe it, talk about how it makes you feel, what it makes you think about.
Okay.
It's it to you.
It's a piece of paper.
Oh, it's a piece of paper.
I know it was a piece of paper.
It's a piece of paper.
Most probably come from a tree. It's where paper tends to come from.
This is a piece of paper. Because I can't see, I'm scared to get a paper cut.
Right now, all I want to do is crunch it up. Can I do that?
Pieces of paper, you can have a blank piece of paper, or right now I could be holding like someone's will, and that's a lot. And if I rip that, that's not great. If I ripped a blank piece of paper, who really gives a shit, you know? Sorry, can I swear?
Maybe it's got something printed on one side.
It's more this side, that there's something on it, than this side.
I can imagine it's got something written on it.
It could be anything on this. There's been so many powerful pieces of paper in history.
I feel like when Teo says think light, this is what I should be thinking, like as light as this paper. Also the sound is interesting.
The sound reminds me of I used to go to the seaside a lot with my dad's family. They live in Clacton, and it gets really windy on the beaches, and this sounds like the I don't know what it's called, like when you sit down on a beach, you put the towel down and then sometimes you put a piece of plastic. It sounds like that in the wind.
Oh!
Oh my Christ.
Oh.
I've seen it before, cannot remember who painted it or what it's called.
I feel like I've seen it before. I feel like it resembles time.
Oh, Salvador Dali.
I guess it references the absurdity of time as a construct. Because obviously, as Lucy Porter said,
Time is a social construct, everybody.
along with everything else.
The idea of like memory behind it and time is something that's quite scary for me.
It looks like it's never ending. The desert looks never ending. And then there's also clocks, so time's never ending. We have all this time and yet no time at all, which is happy.
These clocks could represent me.
Right. YouTube. YouTube. Nice.
Instantly, when I looked at YouTube, I was like, okay, instantly I was thinking all the things that in relation to YouTube and people's YouTube channels, and the fact that this morning I was on YouTube.
I feel almost disappointed by it. I expected writing all over it.
I would have preferred, I guess, if it was blank, because I don't know, I would have felt it was my piece of paper and I could have done anything I wanted to it, but now it's got a brand on it. I just feel a bit, well, it's someone else's piece of paper now.
Honestly, like knowing the stuff about YouTube doesn't make me feel any different about the piece of paper.
I think for me, when I like hold a piece of paper, or I think because I thought, oh, it might have loads of writing on it, like meaningful things. I don't know why I instantly thought that. I think especially like studying poetry and language and stuff that I do, paper, and I don't use a laptop, I like note things down, so it is quite a thing like I use every day.
Yeah, it really depends what's on it. If it's a piece of paper that says like love and peace and some really nice messages, quite cliche, but really nice messages, then that changes the perception of the piece of paper. But if it's got someone that's quite racist and homophobic, or it's got slurs on it, then that changes the piece of paper, definitely.
This power of this picture, but there's a power of not knowing as well. While being blindfolded, having no idea what this could be, you get curious.
When I couldn't see it, I had no connection at all to it.
Like, if this was a photo of my family, I'd be very, like, careful of it and things like that. It definitely changes, not necessarily the value, but the meaning.
I mean, it's powerful for me personally, but I don't know about anybody else. Like I didn't think that I was gonna like take my blindfold off and see this.
But it's not just a piece of paper, is it? It's a piece of art.
But I think it's got more meaning to it. It's not just a piece of paper.
It's just a piece of paper with an image placed on it.
It feels like a completely different piece of paper. 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 Different piece of paper.
If you met yourself and they walked in right now and they sat down right in front of you,
Okay.
what would you think of them and why?
What would I think? I think hopefully she's a nice person. I think at first I'd think, oh God, shut up, she's so loud. She needs to calm down. Some people are really beautiful and that's their thing. I think because I haven't found myself as beautiful as other people, I've had to like ramp up the personality. I'm not going to say I hope I'm funny, all right? Maybe like I talk too much. I don't know, it's an odd one because I've never met someone really like myself, I don't think. But I would hope that I was nice.
She seems alright. Yeah. I think I'd sympathise with her. I'd feel sorry for her as well.
People think I have quite a bitch face because I'm very close to other people. That makes me not maybe approachable sometimes, and sometimes I think my opinion's the best one out there and I don't really want to hear anyone else's. So I guess that's quite tiring to be around a lot of the time.
She's very very like flustered. She'll probably be like, I'm so sorry, I'm late. And then I'd be like, oh, it's fine. She's obviously not very good at timekeeping.
I would think that Ryan was probably quite up himself. But for people that don't know me, I can be a bit too sure of myself, I guess. But I think I would hate myself because of how like myself I was. Like, I see lots of things that other people do, and I maybe will make a little snidey comment about it to somebody near me, and then the person I'm with will go, yeah, but you do that. I'll be like, yeah, but it's alright when I do it.
I don't know. I'll just be awkward. Not quite. It's just that nice medium of grey. Like, I think I am quite friendly. I try to be friendly with everyone.
I think I was going crazy. Maybe he needs to dial it down a little bit. Maybe sometimes I think he might be a bit too much for people. I'd slap him. I'd say keep going, because I'm proud of myself.
I'm more confident than I used to be. I feel like some of the things I do are quite weird to some people. People probably think I'm a bit over the top. Okay in doses, but not all the time.
It's blonde, pale, blue eyes. People say it's idolised, but don't know, it doesn't feel anything special. Standoffish, very private person. I overthink a lot.
A little bit crazy and a little bit, maybe hiding something. She's built a little character for herself. Not in a bad way, not in like, oh my God, you're so different, but in the sense of like, I'll come across and I'll just be really bubbly and like quite confident and just be like, oh, hi, nice to meet you, la la la. Inside I'm freaking out because I don't like meeting new people, I struggle. People always say, you're quite optimistic, you can't actually be that optimistic. I genuinely am, and it can be really, really fucking annoying.
So, you know, it's a big question to ask.
It's hard to kind of think about how you would perceive yourself, because I feel like we're so self-critical of ourselves anyway. If we were to meet ourselves, we probably wouldn't be as self-critical.
Beautiful.
Full of life and humour and happiness.
Always a hug when I walk into the room, which is really nice.
This person makes me think of laughing and stupidity.
Beautiful. And very funny. That every time I do see them, they make me laugh with whatever they say.
They just go like kind of above and beyond kind of thing.
I went to a meeting and I'd never been before, and I walked in and this person just gave me a massive smile and was like, oh, come sit next to me. So they were really friendly. Still don't know them that well, but that was a really nice gesture.
They should be getting more respect than they allow themselves to get.
They work hard, and I respect that.
They're creative and confident, but also very funny.
And also good at what they do.
I think maybe the funniest person I know. He's so happy and giggly.
Organised, hardworking, a nice soul, a kind, helpful person.
You can go to them about anything and they just wouldn't judge you.
They would like pick me up when I'm down.
Yeah, just very kind.
A really strong sense of humour and lights up the room when people walk in. It's really nice.
It's really nice, really nice person. I always feel comfortable with them.
Childlike, hilarious, innocent, sweet, just beautiful. Beautiful is like one of my favourite words.
This person sat next to me, even though they had loads of friends already, and they sat next to me for the whole lecture and then offered to sit next to me with me again.
They will stay in the arts, I imagine. Maybe not, but either way they will do well.
An absolute sweetie.
I fancy them a bit.
Has a lot of talent. And usually is smiling.
Perception. Reality. Same or different? This project was never about finding a definitive answer, but it was a lesson. A lesson that in reality, you are so much more than you perceive yourself to be. You are you, and this is me.